Hello there, St. Paul's. David Zahl here, beaming in from Central Virginia to say both thank you for selecting my book, Anthropology, as a Lenten book read, as well as sort of give you a little introduction to what I was trying to do in this book. People ask me, what's the message of low anthropology? Is it, what are you really trying to say? Well, what I'm trying to say is that our view of human nature has an enormous bearing on how we understand ourselves and how we treat ourselves as well as those around us. And in fact, a more sobering understanding of human nature sort of counterintuitively leads to greater compassion, patience, and grace in our lives. It was a book that was born out of looking around and seeing a lot of division and a lot of acrimony and a lot of us versus them thinking that seemed to me based in a false set of assumptions, or at least an inflated set of assumptions about what people are really like. And so the point of the book is simply to say that you and I are in need of help. And we're in need of help from one another, and we're ultimately in need of help from God. In fact, deliverance. And in fact, the great insight, I think, part of the great insight of the Christian faith when it comes to its understanding of human nature is that that weakness and limitation are actually the gateways to love. And we know this from the people that we love in our lives. They're not generally the ones we simply admire for their positive attributes, but they're the ones who have seen us as we truly are in our unguarded moments, and perhaps the things they've stuck around when we've been ourselves, and not an ideal version of ourselves, but the real sort of gritty and sometimes unpleasant, but just really real version of who we are. And so I see that as a gateway, not only towards sort of healing socially, but really as a doorway into a deeper and I think more radical, but also exciting understanding of who God is and the way that God relates to us, which is not necessarily always when we're at our best, but also importantly, when we are in the moments that Lent puts us in touch with. It's sort of our worst, our more embarrassing, not what we would put on our resume or lead with necessarily. So I hope the book does that. I hope it does it with some humor and gives you an entry point, and maybe some resources for reconceiving whatever difficult relationships that you encounter, but especially that relationship that you have with yourself. So yeah, it's a book that's in service of greater mercy, more grace, more closeness, and intimacy, in fact, grounded, of course, in the one-way love of God. So I hope the book connects. I hope it resonates. If it doesn't, what do they say? Take what you like and leave the rest. But I wish you a blessed Lent, and please give your rector a hail commanders for me, because we know where our true allegiance is to be found. Anyway, God bless you all. Bye.